Well,
God damn it! Why does this always happen when I'm? So I have this chick who wants me to talk to her, but I'm about to do a podcast. Like, this is not cool.
Oh no, you're doing a podcast. 18 seconds.
Yeah, I'm doing a podcast, but she's so cute.
Shout out to his.
And we're live as I'm saying this. Oh my god.
He's gonna turn about the color. White people
turn
red.
The color of my shirt right about now. I have.
He's about to that shirt. We're not gonna push him to that, people.
Oh, it's gonna be pushed in for sure. I know.
Maybe
later. Yeah, hold on. Let me just.
What do you think he's texting, Chris?
Let's get the consensus from the group before we jump into the Invisible Man. Ladies and gentlemen, I am about to message this girl who would like me to be her friend. She's already my friend, but she's like, do you mind being my friend and talking for a bit? How should I politely decline since I'm on a podcast?
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought you were like dating her for a while because I was going to give a fucked up answer.
No, let's all give him answers.
Yeah, answers doesn't matter. Let's go. Let's start with James. James, what fucked up answer should I give to her?
No, if you're dating, I was going to go down the fucking gutter. But seriousness with this one, she wants to be a friend to talk to. You said. Yeah,
she's probably having a bad day, and
okay, I would say, listen, as soon as my podcast is over, I'll hit you up and we can talk all night long if you want.
All night long.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, what do we got? The Invisible Sturdy. What are you getting at me?
I'm similar to what he said, but I would say if you want to see me now to help you feel better, tune into the Horror with Sir Sturdy podcast. You can watch me live and out. See that? That's brownie.
I like that. And the worst power trip ever. What do you got?
Literally what I was about to say. Send her the link, tell her watch me, and as soon as we're off, we'll be talking. But this is why I can't do it right now.
And you have proof. You're not lying. You're not lying.
Right.
All right, hold on. I'm jumping onto the Facebook. I'm going to grab the link. Where's the link? Why don't I just search you, Mr. Sturdy? No. There we go.
This is all live. I love this. This is beautiful.
Live, people, live. Let me get the more options here. Copy the link. Here we go. This is so awkward doing this live. I'm doing a
dick pic attachment. Send.
Don't listen to him.
I'm like, no, we're not at that level yet. Yeah,
his face will turn so fucking
red, like way red. So red if I do that.
It'd be more red than you.
Baby,
oh man!
I've been holding back this feeling for so long. And if you feel like
please never quit your day job.
Come on. Ow, come on.
There we go. Now she's, whether or not she jumps into the viewership, we don't know. But ladies and gentlemen, let's go. We're doing the Invisible. Why am I hosting this? This is your show. What am I doing? I just finished a podcast.
Because I am not a CB, and all men, we know what a CB is, and that's bad. We don't want to be those. Because I'm not one of those, you got to let him run the show. Make him Joe.
I have to run the show?
Yeah, see?
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to... What show are we doing now?
What's this called again?
What show am I on again? I have too many shows. I don't know.
Horror with Sir Sturdy. Ignore the
Horror with Sir Sturdy. You know, the podcast for the horror movie genre. We got the Invisible Sturdy up there. Here we got Joe Bizarro just pop in. Hey, my man, how you doing? We got the Worst Damn Power Trip, and we got simply James over in the corner. I am the podcast mogul. Apparently, I'm running the show because Sturdy is not a CB, and we all know what a CB is. I'm up in the top corner. Joe, you missed out. I was just messaging a friend that wants to talk, a female friend that is, and we were all trying to give us advice live on the air. That's why we're not jumping into the movie.
Yes. So, it's only fair we all gave our advice. What's your advice to him to say to her right now as he's potting?
Yeah, so a lady wanted me, a female friend of mine would message me. She's like, do you want to be a friend and talk for a bit right now? Obviously, it's sent just as I jumped onto the podcast with the Sir Sturdy podcast. just before reviewing The Invisible Man from 1933. Everybody here gave me some relatively wise advice. James gave me a very fucked up response, just being honest. But Joe, what should I have messaged her? What are we doing? This is dating time with Phil Better.
Oh, she wants to see you in a romantic way.
I have no idea if it's romantic or not, but hell, I'm not going to say no.
Well, man. Yeah, maybe for a drink or something. I say go for it.
All right, so we got... Hopefully she doesn't just jump in and just go for it. And she's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Are you attracted to this person?
She's a gorgeous, cute girl. I'm attracted to any female. To be honest, I'm a man. Like, it's not hard to make you attractive. You have boobs and a butt.
Listen. If she's watching, that wasn't a good answer.
No, that was a terrible answer.
We're lucky because there's zero watchers right now. I can see up top, so I'm
yeah, good point.
If she rewatches it, then I'm fucked.
Just to be, he was joking. He was saying what not to do. Just right there.
What not to do.
What not to do.
Now let's move on to this movie, the H.G. Wells fantastic story, The Invisible Man, which has been remade about a dozen times or stolen a dozen times for the premise. What did you guys think overall? Yeah, just an overall feeling before we jump into the craziness that this movie had. So who wants to jump? Since this is Sir Sturdy's podcast that I have just taken over. Sir Sturdy, why don't you go first, Mr.
Okay, Invisible? I appreciate that, man. I'll go first. Honestly, like, if you know me, and I've just said this on both Popcorn and Pines and Horror with Sir Sturdy, black and white is like a cheat code for me. It just gives you that kind of comfortable feel, kind of like it's almost like a live action book when I watch it, and I love reading, so it's almost like a live action book watching black and white films in a sense, because it's like, it's like the words are coming to life literally because it's black and white, similar to the book pages. And it's always a little silly and just fun. Even if it's supposed to be horror, there's still some silliness to it. And I'm sure back in the 30s people were afraid of this, but now it's just like we could picture this on like Nick at Night, just as like a regular TV series show. Like, they wouldn't have to put it on something like special like HBO or anything like that. Just like a regular show, they just play.
ABC at night, even, regular cable, nothing, no premium channels, that's for sure.
Well, exactly. If I say, you know what you said that struck a chord with me was that, this movie was made in 1933. And so, the first movies were just really starting, they're just in their infancy. Like, the first moving picture was The Moving Train. It was like 1890. Yeah. And when people saw that train, they ran from it. I mean, that's how afraid they were. So you have to imagine how people felt when this came out and was on the screen. You look at like the effects and all the stuff that they tried to do, and people were probably like pretty blown away by this film at the time. And I'll say, like, just as a rough stroke, watching it again today, really sitting down and focusing and watching it, I have a couple problems with some things in the movie here and there. But overall, I agree with Sir Sturdy and the fact that, like, these old classic Universal movies, even if it's not a perfect movie for me, it's still a perfect movie. It's still a 5-star movie. These are like the classics. And there's just some great moments in this film. Absolutely. But yeah, it's just, there's a timeless feel when you watch these films. There's a comfort. It takes you back. And they're a little dated. And even this film, it was in London, and there were like some weird accents. There's a lot of little bizarre things, nuances that I caught on to. But at the end of the day, it's still this classic Universal. It was Universal's third film that they had made. And it's a great movie. It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah, and it's also the actor that played the Invisible Man. It was his second starring role. And the reason he got his voice, because he was a prominent stage actor and trained at the Royal Dramatic School or whatever it is in England. His voice was that tenor because of being gassed during the First World War. So he had his unique voice, and the director actually heard it during a tape, and no one thought he didn't even think he would ever be picked up to be a star, and this helped get him into the starring roles in that. So yeah, worst power trip ever.
Enjoy it. Like you said, I mean, these are one of those things that you can always refer back to. I mean, even once I have children, if I do have children, they're gonna watch this. You know what I mean? So it's gonna have to be exposed to them. So timeless. Love it.
All right. James, the man in the corner trying to hide and be invisible.
Yeah, that goes with the movie, right?
Down there, holy smoke!
So, yeah, I agree. What everybody said. I like the old monsters. This is like one of those Universal monsters. You got Dracula, Frankenstein, all fall in the category. I enjoy these. I didn't see this for a long time. I seen it once before because I had to. I was one of those people like I seen Dracula, like the first Dracula, seen Frankenstein. I had to watch them all. I hunted them all down like that year.
Have to.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody got to know those, right? But I like Sturdy said, the black and white. We've been watching a lot of them lately, and they're just drawn. Like I'm getting into them more. Before I was like black and white, especially older movies. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be like people running around, fucking silent movie. It's gonna be corny. I've really been enjoying these. We watched some good ones too on the other podcast, Popcorn and Pints. It was 4 in black and white. It was like a heist. It was called Le Tour, and
Le Tour.
it was like basically the hole in French.
Le trou.
Yeah. So and
gotta roll those R's when you're speaking French.
yeah, I can't do it.
Neither can I, and I live here.
In Spanish class, I couldn't do it either for Spanish. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. There was some silliness and like, what the hell, corny shit. But like he says, 1933, the year was out. That's how. That's what the culture was back then, basically. Yeah. Like that was what like the funny parts. That was comedy to them.
Oh yeah.
And I have to say, the special effects for the guy being invisible, like if obviously we're trained to see it because we're used to green screens and all this, but it's still for 1933, it is very, very impressive that it looks this quality. And yeah, you can see you can see silhouette and all that, but I'm still amazed at how like stunningly it holds up over time, because there's movies from the 90s that you watch with CGI and you're like, how did I ever believe that was real? And like with this movie, you're like, it's nearly fucking perfect, I
actually have an example for that, what you just said, Phil. Fucking Mortal Kombat movies, because when they came out, we were all kids. That looked cool as shit as kids. Now you're just like, I enjoy it because of the nostalgia and it was fun, but what the fuck was I?
Those graphics are like, really? But like you're looking at this movie, you're thinking, oh, a 1933 movie or any of those cinema classics before like the 50s, you're like, oh, if they're at special effects, it's not going to be good. No, because they use practical effects most of the time, which takes it to the next level. So they just used a bit of movie trickery and it just takes it to the next level, like when you have that shot from his shoulder, like kind of from behind him as he's unwrapping, saying, look, this is who I am. And you actually see the people gasp. You're like, and then you got the floating shirt that's just walking around, and this is all before computers. So it was just like, wow, they're fucking amazing doing this.
I never researched it. Like, what was it? Mirrors they're using for that? Like, I don't know what you would use for that. I don't think it had
some kind of primitive rotoscope technique, or even like a primitive green screen, blue screen technique before those existed. They were like chroma keying it. They were pulling out certain colors, and then I think there had to have been some kind of cleanup, but I'm sure it was.
It could have been. I think what they did was kind of like they filmed 2 shots, because if you look at it, like the picture that Paratrip has, you can kind of see that it's like not directly in the same shot, like it's 2 different shots superimposed. So I think they did some superimposing, similar to what he just did. He just disappeared. But yeah, they probably superimposed and just like kind of maybe cut out. I don't know how they did it, but it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was good.
For the time frame, that was definitely probably the first time that had been done, I would imagine. I mean, basically it was like a rotoscope, chroma key, double exposure or double frame. It was cool.
Yes, technique right there, baby.
The first time that he reveals himself, it's really a great moment, and it happens relatively early in the movie. Luckily, about 20 minutes in, And the first time he shows is I think he shows it off to the lady or the guy that want to kick him out of the hotel, and it's just great. That was one of my favorite moments of the movie where
it's when they went down and the guy came up and like the whole village follows them, like just up the stairs.
Where it kicks off, right?
Yeah, it was when they got the cop because he pushed him down the stairs.
Yeah,
and the cop came up. He was like, "Oh, this is what you want," and it just unraveled.
Like,
and
do you want to see who I am?
Like it was a ghost. Still like, what the fuck?
Look, even today, if I'm walking in, if I'm at a hotel or something, I walk in and then there's like, I open the door and then all of a sudden this guy's like revealing that he has no face. I'm gonna be fucking bolting my way out of there. I've seen too many horror movies and read too many horror books to know that this is fucked up. I'm moving. I'm packing up. I
always say this. I'm one of those stupid ones. I'll sit down. I'm like, can I interview you? I got some questions.
Word. Podcast, man. Fuck. I don't give a shit.
Of a guy like revealing that he has no face. You're like,
yeah.
Can I interview you for my podcast? You know, you seem like a good guy.
Yeah,
like, that's cool.
But there's hints, like the lab in the room. As soon as you walk in, you see that, you're like, nah.
So I had to go back. Like, is he carrying something? And in the beginning of the movie, he's carrying a small suitcase, and then it folds out to this room-sized lab.
Yeah, don't you know that it really folds down? The old 1930s labs fit into a little suitcase, not like the labs today, you know, with all their high-tech equipment. No. Yeah, it's an accordion. That's the never-ending one.
Everything set up perfectly. All the fucking Bunsen birds and the shit just pops out like a pop-up book. Like, we're good.
each section, you know, oh, I need to do about this. Clink. Go to the next section, you know.
Anybody else feel like I think his name is Jack? Do you feel like Jack was a total dickhead when he walked into that place? Like, the first thing he said to her is like, I want a room. And she's like, we don't have one. He's like, we'll make one.
Yeah. So he definitely had
ready. So
it was like a bipolar thing. Like, he tried to be nice, then he gets like a snap, like an attitude, like he's like king of the world type shit. Like, do what I say. It was the chemical he didn't know about. It was making him mad. So he was slowly transitioning. It was getting worse and worse. Like, don't bother him. They walk in, and he like fucking loses his mind. And he's like shoving the owners of the building out of their own house and room. They're like, get the hell out. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, damn, you got some balls.
All right, I got a question for everybody on this, and I'm going to answer the same question. And let's not get too crazy, guys. Let's just say you have the same invisibility. You know, you're both naked and you're 100% invisible. What are you doing with that type of power? And I'll even
what I'm not doing is jumping on trains and driving trains off of fucking cliffs and killing 100 people.
No. Yeah, no, I'm not killing people.
You know, the body count in this movie is like in the hundreds.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I forgot. Yeah, because he switched the tracks.
Yeah.
And the train goes off.
The tracks. There's the car that he robbing the bank got over here. He robs the bank. He kills he literally ties someone up, throws them into a car, and then drives it off a cliff. Then you have he chokes a couple people.
Yeah, he choked a cop. He smashes someone in the head with a bench or something. Like that's how he kills the cop, right?
I think so.
That one was the funniest fucking kill I've seen in a long time because it looked like it was just like a light ass shit that just dropped on his head and barely
like a foam. It just bounced off the face.
So fucking hard. I was like, what the fuck? How did that? You see people getting hit in the face with a damn bottle or a bat and get up, and this dude got
a full seated bench on him, and he's like, "Yeah, that's nothing."
Yeah,
foamed up. But yes. Anyways, with this invisibility, what would you guys do?
I can tell you what 18-year-olds would do.
Younger, James, you'll be, be canceled.
Yeah, there would be a lot of cancellation of people, I think, if they had the invisibility. You know what? I'd probably be in so many boardrooms and getting insider trading.
Smart.
I would be Ford's having a meeting. Give me a second. Like I'm doing a stupid pose, like they won't see me, but I'm just like
fly on the wall.
Yeah, just sliding on the wall, full on. No reason, but it's like dun, 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 dun. And people are like, "Why is there Mission Impossible playing in this fucking room? What's going on?"
Remember, doing those things, though, you have to be completely naked because any type of clothing they're gonna see and they're gonna silhouette.
Wait. I get to live it, freebirding it all the time.
I know, Jesus.
I would be right now, but I'm on camera and I don't want to scare people.
I'll go deeper in that. I'll be like working for the government or even everybody's government, even my own. I'll be like my own solo guy going find corrupt, just get fucking secrets and what everybody's
blackmailing
doing.
the fuck out of people. Is that what you're saying?
I'll be nosy as hell. I'll be just fucking up everybody's business.
He's like, just wait. He's like this. He's just like, okay, open the door. Inside
just random wake up in the morning, like let's go across the street to this neighbor and let's see what they're doing today. You just fucking sit there all day.
Getting canceled again.
I won't kill nobody or rape. Nowhere near those like, yo, you get raped and get away with it. No one will ever find you.
I was not thinking nowhere near either one of your guys' levels. I was thinking of doing something like an inconvenience to people, like going into people's houses when they're home or not and taking a shit and not flushing it and just leave.
Oh God, you're evil.
Something like
you know they have
he's thinking 11-year-old pranks.
Because
he's like, oh no, shit on your
listen. Imagine doing that in multiple houses. Imagine somebody doing that in your house, in your household, right? And
are you doing wait? Are you doing a double decker?
No, I won't be that disrespectful.
Okay.
Unless it's Nicolas Cage's house, then I'm shitting everywhere.
You're just like full on, just walking around, shit popping out, and there's like, why is there a shit just dropping from the air, Nicolas Cage? What the fuck did you put in this tea?
You shit right in the pillowcase, so when he lays down that night, he puts his head on it.
So mean to the cage.
I want to say something on what James said about his answer there about being. I think he was trying to say something kind of perverted at the top of that, but. Have you guys ever seen the movie by Adam Rifkin called The Invisible Maniac?
No.
IAC at the end. It was done, I want to say, in the early 90s. And, it was like a direct-to-VHS thing, I'm pretty sure. Adam Rifkin, Detroit Rock City. I can't think of all of Dark Backward, of course, the great comedy movie. But he did The Invisible Maniac, which was about the Invisible Man, but he's like this pervert dude, and it's one of those 90s kind of skin flick comedies. I highly suggest it.
Wow, okay.
Trash.
Okay.
Yeah, this movie has been remade at least a good 20 to 30 times with different styles. You have the Hollow Man, which is probably the first one that I ever saw. The Invisible Man style was Hollow Man, and again, that's another skin flick, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, there were 4 sequels to this. I looked it up. It was like Invisible Man Returns was like 4 years later, and then there was like an Invisible Woman, and then there was like 2 other weird like spin-off things. So they made this movie like 4 or 5 times.
There was like memoirs of the Invisible Man or something like that.
There's another remake.
Yeah, that was the Universal. Like that's how Universal got named. They just remade their monster movies. Constantly, and this wasn't even originally part of the monster universe. They just brought it in because they used the same director as Frankenstein and I believe Dracula. And originally it was supposed to be Boris Karloff to be the Invisible Man, but because him and the director had a falling out over personal matters, and he cost too much money because Frankenstein and Dracula made him the Mummy made him a star. So yeah,
this was actually supposed to be. This was supposed to be Universal's second horror film after Frankenstein, or after Dracula, but it was Frankenstein instead. And then this kicked off. And like you said, that was supposed to be that role right there. So it's interesting how it all played out. And if you look at a lot of these movies, a lot of these actors at that time it was like they used a lot of the same people. It's like a small wheelhouse. So like Claude Rains, who played the Invisible Man, plays the father of the Wolfman in the Wolfman. Learned today as well. So they're kind of incestuous world that they had.
Well, back then they used to sign the actors similar to what Marvel and Disney are doing. They sign them for like, okay, you're going to be in 25 Universal movies. You're going to be in 10 or 3. Whereas nowadays actors are like, I ain't getting into long-term contracts. They go 1 or 2 contracts. Unless it's Marvel and it's like, here, we're going to give you $1 billion to be in 5 movies. Yes, where do I sign?
Yeah, no, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a return to that style because there's only a couple big style movie house productions. Like Amazon is buying MGM now.
Jeez.
You have Disney owning nearly everything, and Warner Brothers / HBO / AT&T / Turner Media / like 84 other things they have. And I think you're going to see actors getting locked into long-term contracts like that because Disney's going to protect their actors for sure because it's the Disney brand.
That's true.
So who's seen the remake of this movie that they did a couple years ago? I think it was
Jordan Peele did it, I think.
2019 or 2020.
I never seen it.
Right?
Been meaning to.
No one's seen it?
I never seen it yet. No.
Is it? Oh, yeah. It's hard to make this a really scary type movie.
Yeah, I agree. It's like one of those. He's just invisible. It's not like
he
just takes his clothes off. Yeah, he has nothing.
The remake is like a 1-star film compared to this being a 4 or 5.
Like honestly, like the character herself, I like it. Like the original, like I like how it's part of the monster, the universe. Yeah, the originals, but he's on the bottom of the list. You know what I'm saying? He's not like he has a lot of kills. Don't get me. He's probably got more kills than Frankenstein. You know, but just because there's one movie, he fucking just took out a train.
Like
just the train just decimated.
Yeah,
he's he's the leaderboard. He is the serial killer of the group.
104 kills and 2 non-counted deaths. So 104 kills, 2 injuries in The Invisible Man, 1933.
That's crazy.
That's impressive.
This movie is a fucking masterpiece.
That's fucking impressive. That's gonna give me my rating's gonna be a little bit higher than
that. He's going mad. He is just proving himself that he's like basically I'm a god. I'm ruling this world. I can just come over here and do this. No one sees me. I put judgment. I'm like, I let you live or not, basically attitude.
I think if you think back to the time of the 30s, they're just coming out of the First World War and such, you know what I mean? So it's like the whole mentality of one man taking over, not having the power to. It's like, you know what I mean?
He says that
in that period. Yeah. It's horrific to them in that period. I mean, it's still a problem to think about now, but back then it's like, oh my God, you know?
This movie is a fucking masterpiece. There's Kyle all the way from Canada. I don't remember what part.
Fellow Canadian. There we go.
There you go.
The part made me laugh. I did like how he was sitting there basically eating dinner, and he gave out all his weaknesses.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if it's snowing, or if it's foggy out, like, dude, okay, you don't even go out on a sunny day or a fucking clear night sky. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
I'm like, you're in a better winter. Don't kill people in the winter, especially if it's snowing.
Yeah, and you can't even wear clothes because you're standing outside butt-ass naked in winter.
He would have had frostbite. He would have been done. I don't know how the fuck he was moving around and shit in the fucking freezing.
I'm in Canada. I can guarantee you there is no way you're spending more than like max 5 minutes outside bare ass. Like I've done it 5 minutes outside bare ass when I'm up in the country, not in the city because I'm not crazy to get arrested. And like you jump into the hot tub, run out and lie into the snow, do your snow angel, and you run back in the hot tub.
Wait,
that's a white person thing. Man.
Yeah, it's fully white person. Fully white person.
States color flag on the plane. Blow the whistle.
Fucking flags like, not happening. No, it's a white person.
I do understand getting into a hot tub butt ass naked, but I'm like, why the fuck are these? You're getting out of this nice, comfortable hot tub to go do some snow angels, naked snow angels.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, if you put a spin on it, it's the same thing that athletes train. They do the ice baths. They jump in and they jump out and go into the steam room. Then they launch and go jump back into the ice bath. It's the same thing, but
it's good for your muscles, Sturdy. It's good for your muscles. It's good for regrowth.
I don't think they're doing it for their. I think they're just.
We're drunk and high.
Yeah,
we're drunk and high.
Yeah, exactly.
I tried.
It's your one friend that's sitting like, yo, I dare you go jump in that snowbank.
No,
you're like,
Canadians are dumb enough to do it. Well,
I dare you to get naked to go jump in that snowbank and then jump in the hot tub.
Hey.
I love how Joe's like, I ain't getting involved in this motherfucking conversation.
You started talking about being naked outside, and I kind of tuned out.
He's like, that white boy is too crazy for my white ass.
Hey, when I was younger, if it was a dare, it's it's going down.
Shit white people do. What can we say? We're crazy.
Not mad at it. Not mad at it. So what's everybody's rating for this movie? Before we hop into the wheel and something else also cool I want to announce on here.
Son of a... Sorry.
Hockey.
Yeah. Hockey, sorry.
Kyle, I hope you're watching the hockey game. If you're not, me and Phil are very disappointed in you. And so is Drake and Justin Bieber. They're disappointed.
Fucking A.
Okay, I guess I'll rate it. Kyle, 9.5.
Kyle,
9.5 from Kyle. Okay. Fair enough.
I'm going to go with an 8. Because I think mostly I was comparing to the other black and white, the original monsters. And I was ranking them. I was like, oh, he's last. 8's still a good score. I enjoyed it. There was some stupid parts. Like, I did not like that lady. How
Kyle,
she went like screaming out of nowhere. I was like, is this a comedy or a horror movie? Because she did that like old school, running around in a circle, like fucking Benny Hill type shit going on. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And it was like nonstop. It wasn't one scene. Everything someone did something, she's like, loud as hell, just runs down the stairs, like crazy as hell. I'm like, the fuck?
I really wanted to know if the 1930s, like if someone got scared, that was their go-to answer, just to throw their hands up, run around in a circle. I figured
the
Kyle.
Whole village,
I figured as much.
And I want to know in the 1930s that everybody's village or town knew each other and just followed the leader into one big line, just follows like a cop. You try to follow a cop now, they're going to say, get the fuck across the street.
Stay the fuck back.
They're like, come on, guys. You want to follow me? Let's see what's going on.
Like the whole town. It's like, yeah, come on, let's go.
And was this based in London?
Yeah, it was a small town out of
England. That's another thing. London, I'm sure winter, if it's snowing, I'm sure it's another place that's cold as fuck because it rains all the time, and I heard it's
They
cold.
don't really have snow in England. That's the thing.
Oh,
they don't generally have snow. They're like, it's weird when they have snow. It like they shut down the country pretty much because they don't have the equipment. Like North America does. Like North America gets like slammed. Like Mother Nature's like, we don't like you. Snow.
Yep.
The rest of Europe, it's like sprinkling of snow.
Oh, it's not just that. It's tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes. We get everything.
That's the States. I'm talking Canada. North America, not just America. Jeez. Think whenever someone says America, you think it's all about you. There's a whole other part of the continent. Thank you very much.
You know what? I broke that rule because I used to complain about that. So when I used to say I'm from New York, and everybody automatically thinks you're from the city.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no. I'm like, New York is big. There's
it's
other
a whole
shit.
State.
Yeah. Well.
Anyways, yeah, my rating I would put is like going on a full-on tangent about countries now. I would put it. Yeah, it's an 8. It's a solid 8. It aged well. The acting is just over the top, just enough so it's entertaining, and it's not taking it. I feel like no one's taking the whole movie serious. No. Like everybody's just like having a great time with it. And I'm sorry, how high are you, Worst Damn Power Trip? You just like smiling and bouncing like you're higher than
everybody's saying. I love this movie, man.
But yeah, no, this movie is fun. Like you put it on and you're entertained because either the acting is just so over the top, or you're just like, oh my god, the movie is just so well paced, and the special effects or the effects just hold up. I'm still so impressed by the effects.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I said, one of my faves, bunch of the cinematography that's done, the close-up shots, some of the transitions, the overselling of the acting, like you said with the lady there of the house.
Yeah.
It's just like it's just enough, like just to have fun, but still like think of the time, and like you said, think of what they're thinking about and what topics is relevant to them. And it's like, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? It's cool. Going with the 8.
I'm going to play devil's advocate and be the one that gives it a lower rating. Not that I don't think it was a great movie, but of a 10 rating, I'm going to give this movie like a 6.5 or a 7, maybe a solid 7. Now, I will say that I would give but I would give Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, those are 10-star movies for me.
Yes.
Those are solid 10 out of 10 Universal early monster movies. This film, however, I did have some problems with it in the fact that I really did enjoy it, but it also was like at moments, you didn't know if it was a horror, you didn't know if it was a comedy. There was a lot of Benny Hill, Keystone Cops.
Yep.
There was a lot of like just silliness, and I would only assume that was intentional, and it is fun. And what Power Trip said, I thought was also really kind of interesting about the time, just coming out of war and all of that. Because at the end, he talks about how he could sell this to the next nation, and they would dominate the world. And that's a pretty powerful message to put in a movie. And I think that that's really cool. But the fact that the film was never really, I don't get that creepy, scary vibe that I get from watching Frankenstein or The Mummy or Dracula or The Wolfman or even Creature from the Black Lagoon. Probably all of my favorites. So I do think this was a great film. But I also wanted to touch on one thing that I had a big problem with in the story was that, there's not a whole lot of like sense in the fact that I understand he takes this drug, monocaine, and he's injected it. And he's been doing these self-experiments, but like he literally goes from in 1 second in one scene from like trying to find a cure to turn himself back to be back with his sweetheart to a raging lunatic. And we don't see a transformation. We don't see a gradual process. It's like this character snap. And then later on, he talks about wanting to save himself again. And there was like this weird thing that was like this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, but it just didn't quite add up. So the movie wasn't quite horror. It wasn't quite comedy. Didn't have that creepy Universal, but it was important for its time. It was revolutionary. It had some amazing effects for what they did. So you have to just like really look at this thing and go, this is a masterpiece of a film, but I'm still going to give it a 7 rating.
I have a question for everybody on the panel. How many have read the H.G. Wells Invisible Man?
In school, I probably read like half of it. I never finished the book. I don't like reading, honestly. I got like a ADHD type shit, and I'll read the same paragraph like 3 times. Then I just like, you motherfucker, and I'll just throw the book.
No, the book is of its time, obviously, because it is written back in the early part of the last century. But it's like Frankenstein. It's like the Dracula book. It's entertaining. The Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I've read all of them because I love reading books, but especially when the movies are based on them, to see the similarities. And this one is actually very similar to the book. And that's mainly because H.G. Wells, when he sold the rights to it, he's like, I get final say on the draft. And so when the writer came in and wrote the script for it, and he stayed as close as possible. And I believe someone did say something. Restream did say the Invisible Maniac. A lot of the other script writers were writing it based on that story and not the Invisible Man from H.G. Wells. So,
interesting.
Little knowledge from the podcast mogul. Just throwing that out there.
I'm gonna give this movie a 6. The cheat code helped with this movie, and then just some of the things that all you guys discussed in this movie, it definitely helped it out. But it wasn't like really there for me like a lot of black and whites are. It didn't go like over that next limit. I felt always on that boundary, never crossed it. I understand it's from 33 though. I 100% understand that. But still, I feel like I could have took it a little further. I'm sure other movies would have taken it a little further in these times and this, in that era back then. But at the same time, it's enjoyable. Would I watch it again? Probably not. I might watch the 2021 one time just because. But yes, a solid 6 for this one. Solid 6.
Nice range of rankings.
Yeah.
So let me pull this up really quick, gentlemen.
I probably would watch this again, by the way. My answer. The only reason is because, like I said, I like the original fucking monsters.
Yeah,
so,
the Universals. Yeah.
I guess I just realized this has kind of been a tradition in my family because it's like Halloween. It's the Monster Mash time. You know what I mean? So you're going to go back and watch all this stuff.
The Monster Mash. But really quick, guys. So, as you guys can see, Brides of Satan, which James and I did review a few months ago now. I don't remember.
A while back, yeah.
Maybe even sometime last year. And as you can see right there, there's two, and one of them is going to be given away.
Ooh,
Cool.
giveaway.
Yes, sir. And
Tell us about this giveaway.
Anybody can join this giveaway as long as it ships to US and Canada. So anybody
North
else,
America.
yeah, including the ones that aren't attached. But anyway, yes.
Internet shipping is expensive. That's for sure.
So there's two of them right there. One's mine and one's one of yours. How do you get this? I'm going to tell you what. Tune in Tuesday and find out. Tune in next Tuesday and find out how you get this.
That's not fair.
Because check out the episode on Tuesday. But one of these is going to be given away. And I actually have somebody who was a huge part of this movie on the podcast tonight. My guy, Joe.
Hey! Phil, thank you for doing that, Sir Sturdy. I do appreciate you promoting and putting it out there.
Of course, like I told you when I had you on for that interview, I told you I was going to grab two. I was going to get one for myself, and I was going to get one for a giveaway. And
good for your word.
I got to be a man of my word when it comes to that stuff, man.
You sure are, and I appreciate that. And I had a lot of fun talking on your show.
But is there anything you want to tell the people about this, about your film?
Yeah, I mean, it's still available on the Blu-ray double edition, the double disc limited edition Blu-ray that you can get through Darkside Releasing. You can also screen it right now on Vimeo.com. Like, it's just like Vimeo on demand, Vimeo/on demand Brides of Satan. I think for about $3 or $4. Also, we are already kind of in the digital version. We're going to be at Cannes Film Festival in France next July 8th. It is.
That's awesome.
So we'll be there represented with Darkside Releasing. One of our sellers will be there representing the movie. So hopefully we get a good international VOD deal and we start showing in other countries. But for now, like I said, we're just available on the Blu-ray through the website and then Vimeo.com. And then also on the 8th, we'll be in retail. So you will no longer be able to get the double disc, but the single disc cheaper version of the movie will be in like Walmart, Barnes & Noble, Target, any of those major distributors where you can find films. So we're really excited to get
well done, sir. Well done.
Thank you so much.
I love the cover is awesome and it sold me already. It feels like that old 80s style, horror movie. So you sold me already on the cover.
Like I said, Aaron and I reviewed it. It was a fun movie. It was a fun movie.
Colors in this movie, like when the lighting, especially like in the dark scenes, the colors in this movie are fucking amazing. And there's titties. That
sold.
Boom.
Good amount of titties. Yeah. A lot of people do compliment the cinematography. That was done by Noel Maitland. He really did a great job. And that poster art was done by Steve Rice. So I just wanted to give a shot.
I like the poster art like that. It brings you back memories when you used to go to a movie store and the colors pop out at you.
Fuck yeah!
And
you're like, oh, check this out. What's this?
First thought, James, I'm glad you said that. My first thought, as far as like going back to those times, was blacklight. Like, because the purples and shit in here and the little pinks.
Oh, yeah.
Blacklight is the first thing I freaking thought of. I'm just like, yes, and it's those times, and it fits with the theme of the film.
Nice.
So definitely check that film out. Go out there and buy it, and maybe one lucky person is going to get one of these, and you're gonna find out next Tuesday when we are reviewing. I guess I'll pull up the movie.
What movie are we reviewing Tuesday?
What we're reviewing on Tuesday.
Here comes the wheel.
Go all the way around. James, maybe we'll get the Phantasm this time.
Yeah, I'm hoping, man.
This is the slowest spin of life.
Oh no, he didn't click it yet. He waits till it's faced up. He has to see himself before he spins it.
You're damn right I do. Every single time.
Wheel of movie.
Sure.
Texas Chainsaw.
Lopez.
Great film.
Oh, okay.
Jennifer Lopez, The Cell.
Great movie. Great fucking movie. Why is Dead Calm showing up? That's weird.
I don't know.
I was a little confused because I'm like, that's not the poster I remember for
I'm
The
so
Cell.
confused.
Who remembers the horse scene from The Cell?
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
Oh,
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you're in for
Really?
it, my friend. That is a fucking great film.
That movie's. It's fucking one of those like what the fuck wow movies like.
It's dark.
It's dark. It's not a mind fuck. It's dark. It's like
Really?
It's like probably around like The Hostel, like kind of like
Yeah,
that
kinda.
dark, like twisted. Have you ever seen The Cube?
Nope.
Canadian classic. You should watch it again. Shout out to the Canadians who made that. It's in the same like dark style that The Cube is, and they made a whole bunch of different. I think it came out probably around the same time. The Cell and The Cube came out probably around the same time, early 2000, and The Cell is a twistedly great movie. So yeah, it's going to be a good movie to watch.
So that director, his name is Tarsem, and I think he only did 2 films, The Cell, and then after that, he did a movie called The Fall. Has anyone seen The Fall?
Yeah,
we did. Yeah, we just reviewed that. Yep.
That's a cool movie.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
Real colorful, real like really vibrant, really like
Trippy as hell, man.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful film.
They shot it in like 20 countries or something. Like,
yeah, it was nuts.
Underwater. Like you looking at that and going like, how did they make this film?
Yeah.
So I really like that director. He's very visual.
So The Cell, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be a very interesting one. And J-Lo's in it too.
Can't go wrong with J-Lo.
Vince Vaughn, right?
Yeah.
All right.
That's
and this was a while back, so it's a younger J-Lo too, Aaron.
Yeah, it's Jenny from the Block, J-Lo. So you
Yeah.
know it's
Prime time, Jenny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll behave.
I barely behave.
Never.
But before we get any further, I just want to let you guys know about HEMPARITA. It is an awesome, amazing CBD. There is a shooter, and there is gummies. I don't have any right now, but they're delicious.
Did you use them all?
Exactly, because I ran out because they're so delicious. But you can go to ihemparita.com. That's right, ihemparita.com. Use promo code SIR30 on your way of checking out. Save 10%. You spend over $50, free shipping. Right now, it's only in the 50 states legally. Canada, I'm going to talk to the guy that owns this and figure this shit out. I'm going to try my best because I'm going to meet him this summer. I'm not making that up either. So I'm going to talk to him and see what's going on because I got peeps in Canada that would buy this stuff.
Damn right. But it's also, in Canada, it's hard because we got the federal government that controls everything. And you have to go through them. So you have to get licensed. And there's a whole bunch of baloney that you have to deal with. But we're legally allowed to walk down the street and smoke with joints. So there's the positive of that, you know.
That's great. That's great. But I'm just saying, though, you know.
I would love to get some HEMPARITA up and try out this stuff because, hell.
Amazing. It's amazing.
We don't got gummies up here, which sucks.
It's a CBD you can actually feel. It's very relaxing, especially if you're a smoker and you smoke first and then have a gummy or two or drink half or the whole shooter. The shooter, that one little bottle is 2 servings. One gummy is 1 serving. So,
what's the percent in there of CBD? Do you know?
I do not remember, honestly. And
I know it's it counts because it can go all 50 states because it's like 0.002 of THC in there or something like it has like some kind of number like that in there.
I think it could be up to like 0.005 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Really low
at the max. But it's great. It's delicious. It's HEMPARITA. Go get you some.
They should use you for the commercial. HEMPARITA.
All right.
You know what? I'm going to talk to them about that.
That's what you could do this summer. Videotape a fucking commercial.
There you go.
That would be dope. I got to do it now. I got to talk to him.
There we go. Ideas, my brother.
Yes, sir.
That's what the Z Network's for.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Damn right about that. So, everybody said, well, I know I said I probably won't watch this again, but you guys said you would all watch this again?
I probably would watch, like, it would be probably around Halloween. I think this, like, Worst Damn Power Trip said, it falls into the Halloween type Monster Mash movie. It's gonna fall into my rotation of movies during Halloween. I would watch. Probably do like a full Invisible Man or Invisible Person marathon and just pick, some of the classics. Like you got to have this one, got to have Hollow Man, the remake, just to compare all the craziness.
Yeah. Mm. Oh, well, if you go that route, then I'd say maybe. If it's something like that, especially if the wife was like, hey, let's watch all the Invisible, like kind of you're just saying, let's watch the Invisible Man movies, or let's watch all the Invisible People movies or whatever. I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. That's cool.
I think I'll watch it. What's that?
I was wondering if they've ever done an Invisible Woman movie.
They did. Yeah.
They did.
Part 3, probably.
It was in the list. I was reading about this earlier.
I know there's a Invisible Man Returns. I think that's the
nice.
one.
Yeah, so there's been all kinds of reiterations of this film.
Yeah, I was just not sure if they've done a woman, because I know they've done men. Like every single one is pretty much Invisible Man, makes sense, right? But I was wondering if they ever did a female version of it, and maybe
he never got a crossover. You know how a lot of them got crossovers, like Frankenstein meets Dracula.
Abbott and Costello meet the Wolfman, Frankenstein.
Well, because he would die in 2 seconds. Like they had to fight each other. He's just human. He's just invisible. Werewolf will sniff him out and rip him apart.
Apparently, he has superhuman strength because he says to the guy, "I am very strong." So this is one of those movies where it's like, if they say it, it exists. I think that's how they.
Well, he did lift up a man without a problem, put him in a car,
like a baby.
That's true.
Like
that's
a baby,
like a baby. He's like,
he pushes the baby stroller. Do you remember that shot?
Yo, I was like, wow. It was like Tip Galloway.
That was some shit.
Not go for a baby stroller.
That is the worst criminal act in the world. That's how you make a villain nowadays. He's knocked over baby carriage.
Don't mind the train where 104 people, but you don't get a fucking
baby carriage. Come on.
Baby carriage. Come on, man.
What, Phil? I'm gonna say something that's worse than knocking over a baby carriage.
It's pretty bad, man.
Harming an animal.
When the train shot happened, man, I was like,
harming a dog.
It's the dog.
You can get away with a cat, but a dog, you
can't. Like a cat or a dog, an animal in general, if you're doing it for no reason, you get upset about that.
You don't take a goldfish, just flush it. You're like, whatever.
I'm not a goldfish. But a cat or a dog.
Sprays the cat with like paint or something. The cat's like knocks some snow or some dust on this guy's head, and he like shoots it with like a.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was like tar or something. Motherfucker got covered it.
See,
and the cat was like covered in goo. I was like, that took me back too, man. So there's cat abuse in this film.
Yeah, you're like, fuck the baby. You're like, you hurt the cat, man. The cat's blind now, can't see, got paint in his eyes.
He's strangling everybody.
It sprayed his butthole and it fucking dried. Now the turds won't come out.
Wow.
He was ballsy too. This guy was ballsy, right? He went out to like 500 cops and like smack him.
My apologies, Phil.
And run off.
Just because he wasn't, which I feel like kind of crazy. Like I thought it was real smart when they all locked arms. I'm like, how did you not catch him if you're all locking arms and he can't?
Because you want to know why? There's a gap. He sat there like this, and it went over him. And he stood up and he was behind him. He's like, tag. Guess what, guys? It wasn't a.
No, he would be the king of hide and go seek. Gotta say, he would be the king. Like, hey, Uncle, we're going to play hide and go seek. He's like, excellent.
They had to have thought this. They had to have been trying to make people laugh with this shit.
Yeah, it was one of those games. Like, you ever play that Red Rover where you run through your friend's hands? But they do full arm length. It's like a big gap.
It's in the trailer. It's in the trailer. I watched the trailer before the movie because I was like, how bad is this going to be? Because I was worried. It's a 1933 movie, right? And then I watched the trailer and I'm like, no, this is going to be gold. This is going to be just pure entertainment because of how like crazy it is. And then they did the Red Rover, and I was like,
why didn't they use the net like they did in the room? Okay, we got to make sure he's not here, listens to us. And they put up the net and walked across the room. They should have got a bigger net and did that.
Yeah. I think the best part is when they were swapping at, like, you had like 20 of them, and when he's choking with some guy or throwing, and they're just using a stick and hitting bushes. And I'm like, no. I want to know who thought this plan up. Like, really?
Yeah, there was a lot of silly shit in there.
Same thing I thought.
Power Trip is just like, man, Phil's just telling the truth.
I mean, preach, brother, preach.
They called it a horror sci-fi, but you got to think about it. If you really think about it, this might be the first horror comedy film ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it very well might be. I dare you to find something around earlier than this.
That makes sense because, like I said, because they overacted and everything, it was funny to me. Certain parts were funny.
But my question to you guys, because I do agree with that, for like looking at this, you can chuckle at a lot of things. Was it meant to be funny, or is it just funny to us because of the way this movie was back in the day?
Funny to us.
I feel like they had to know, man, with some of those scenes where they're beating the bushes and like this lady's running around screaming on the table.
Okay, yeah.
45 seconds in that movie, like.
Yeah, that's true. Because that's why I was questioning. I was like, in the 30s, did people do this? You're in a bar and the fucking lady's just her hand above her head, just screaming loud as hell, jumping on tables and shit.
Listen, it is England. It's another country, another way of life, and it's 1930 in a country place. Like it may be 1930 in the rest of the world, but they're still probably living in 1855. You know, when they overact and shit. It's you have to. They didn't have all this newfangled tech.
Where he throws the guy down the stairs, and the dude hits his head. And he's like got a concussion, and the wife's screaming. And like in the next shot, he's drinking a glass of wine.
Yeah,
he's like, "I'll just drink." I mean, they fucking had to have been like, "This is a joke, right?"
But then she said something to him, and he said something, and she started screaming again.
I don't know
what the fuck.
Yeah, because with what you're just saying though, Joe, just because of like with sports like the NFL and with mixed martial arts now, and even boxing to an extent. With the head injuries, like they're really learning more and more about it. So I feel like in the 30s, they're probably just like, oh, he just hit his noggin. He bumped his noggin. He's dizzy for a little bit. When he gets up, give him a drink. Because think about it. Like if you're in physical pain and you just get drunk, that time you're drunk, you're not going to feel shit.
Yeah, that's medicine, man. You got to fucking numb you.
You're probably going to bump into more shit and feel worse when you get up.
I want to point out that Sir Sturdy just said, oh, and boxing, they deal with a little bit of brain injury. The whole sport is a brain injury.
No. What I meant by that was actually like admitting to it and like opening up, looking into it deeper, not the head injury.
Okay.
That's a huge,
Because I was like, whoa, you got MMA there, you got NFL, and then you're like, oh yeah, but boxing, they deal with a bit of brain injury too.
There too. I'm being disrespectful. Hockey.
It's fine. Hockey actually, what's funny, the NFL blocked the Canadian, because hockey, we've announced like CT or the CTE, I think it is, or whatever it is, and we have a special helmet in that. And the company Bauer, who makes those helmets, is barred from doing business and selling the same style of helmets and the protection to the NFL because the NFL has an agreement with the U.S. government and the military.
Ooh.
Yeah. So the CTE could have been like taken care of thanks to the Canadian hockey companies, but the NFL was like, no, we have the military or something along those lines. Like, it's something ridiculous.
It's probably the money too. Like
the money.
They don't care about it. It's just a fucking
listen, we would do this, but they're going to pay us a lot more.
Yeah, pretty much. The military is going to write us a blank check. We like the blank check.
Yeah.
And that's all she wrote.
That's how the world goes, people. That's how the world goes.
Make sure you use code Sir Sturdy at what's the website again? Hemparita.com. Where you can get up to 10% off your order. And if you order $50, free international shipping to Canada and the US.
Canada soon.
Coming soon.
I'm going to talk to the people. Yeah. And don't forget to go check out Brides of Satan, people.
Yes, the Brides of Satan. Joe, did you direct it or did you write it?
I wrote it, produced it, directed it, edited it, and did some of the sound design.
Jesus, he was the whole fucking crew.
You're just an overachiever in my book. You're just fucking overachieving. You're like, oh, I'm going to do everything. If Kevin Smith can do it, I can do it too.
It all boils down to money, really. It's just money. Like, you do everything that you can do and spread the tasks out.
Hey, I say you know how to do it.
took us 5 years to do. You know, it was a pretty small team. In fact, like a lot of the names in the credits are fake. They're like I'm credited.
Whenever you need a fake credit, I'm full. I will be more than happy to sell my name for
Feel
just
better.
some. Feel better. It just randomly best grip boy. Feel better.
Yeah.
Why not?
So we're excited about the film. It's also just got into this festival in Orlando. I can't remember the name of it. Wish I could. Oh, it's called the Halloween Horror Picture Show in Newport Richey, Florida. So we'll be there sometime this year. And like I said, hopefully we do good at Cannes and we get on some VOD. We get international VOD, and then hopefully we're on Amazon or Shudder or something like that here soon. And I'm working on a couple new movies too. I've got quite a few projects kind of in the work, but I really don't want to do an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter or any of that stuff. It's just exhausting for everyone. So when the money shows up, we'll shoot the next movie, which I think is going to be called House of the Succubus. And it's very like a kind of 80s, 90s throwback of a bunch of like hot girls to go into a house and get caught up with a sexual succubus demon that wants their flesh and their souls.
And their holes.
Amen. But yeah, horror, sex, comedy, almost with that Cinemax kind of like USA Up All Night, Cinemax kind of raunchy vibe. Nothing but fun. Nothing but fun. I like entertainment in films.
Me too.
Which is why I gave kind of a low score on The Invisible Man from 1933.
If they had boobs in it, he would have gave it a 10 for sure.
Yeah, some more boobs would have been great, but I don't think that back then.
That'd have been cool.
Just some invisible boobs. Invisible woman. I'm flushing you all. You can't see.
What's the first nudity in film? I wonder.
Well, there would be a really weird sex scene, though. It'll just the girl on her back with her legs up, and you don't see nothing else.
I don't need 50.
Would it be a bad thing? You'd see a bush like you've never seen before. Though.
Fuck, guys.
Horrible.
Oh my gosh. Oh shit.
I am getting burnt up in the group chat with those boys down in Tampa, and I don't even want to look at it. We're losing 2-1. God damn it.
What period is it? Is it period?
So it's just the end of the second. We got another 10-minute. We have another period of 20 to go. We got a 10-minute break right now. They scored with less than a second left on the clock, and like they were reviewing it. That's how close it was to the time going out. Like, did they actually score during the period? And they scored with like 0.5 seconds left. Like you saw it go over, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So yeah, I'm sorry.
It's all right, man. You still got a whole another period, though. You never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's 2-1. We got a chance. Got Jesus Price in net. Come on, boys. But yeah, we got this. We got this. All right. So
good luck, sir. Good luck.
Thank you.
Best.
Are we closing it up? I don't know what's going on now. I don't normally host this show. I don't know how long we go for.
We just go till we go. I mean, we can wrap it up whenever, though. But
yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna need to jump off. So if you guys want to continue without me, I got a hockey game. Like I gave you 2 periods. I need to at least watch my 3rd period live.
All right, I'll say. You know what, Phil?
And he has a friend that needs his shoulder.
Yeah,
right
we
now,
need
so.
to discuss with my
he
friend.
might be crying too if they lose this game.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be crying if we lose. I'm going to tears, ugly cry.
You get those tissues in your ice cream.
Don't make your problem worse than hers. Don't sit there and complain to her and go, yeah, but my team
no. I'm not gonna say. You're right. It's a horrible problem. The Habs losing. I'm just crying out of one eye, just like, yeah, you're right. It's a horrible thing.
But because you're gonna be emotional, which is we're not gonna discuss anymore, just in case she's watching.
If she is, hi. Yeah, they all know the problem. They don't know your name. It's fine. I hope. I'm looking at my phone right now to make sure. So We're safe still. There's no death threats yet, so we'll see.
Good. You be safe, my friend.
Oh, it was a pleasure being on the show. I'm going to bounce out. You guys are going to probably continue. And Joe, pleasure meeting you. I'm looking forward to watching The Brides of Satan and your future succubus movies because I think they're going to be great. A revitalization of the 80s, 90s silly skin flick horror movies.
Yes.
Can't go wrong with that.
Appreciate that.
You're very welcome, James. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Worst power trip. You're always high, and I love it. Or you just look always high. You always look high. Okay, you're always just like squinting at me.
I'm just a happy guy.
Okay, yeah, we'll go with that. Happy Sir Sturdy, the Invisible Man himself, an amazing guy. Thank you for having me on the show. We need to get you back on my show.
Of course.
Everybody, I'm the podcast mogul. I am leaving. Good night.
Have a good one, man.
Have a good one.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate your time as well. I appreciate being on the show. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Power Trip. Thank you, James. Thank you, Sir Sturdy. Thanks for the promotion. And thanks, gentlemen.
Have a good one, man. Have a good one.
Stay strange.
Nice, man. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
We didn't bring up R. Kelly though. I'm a little disappointed. And
I mean, nothing really got peed on.
Well, the cat got peed on by some spray paint.
That's true. And
true.
Just think of how many people R. Kelly would have peed on if he was invisible.
Oh man,
for real.
No kids safe.
No.
You walk outside and all of a sudden they're like, "What the fuck?" and hit with a stream.
Yep.
Oh man, he'll be everywhere.
Just drinking water all day and Gatorade.
Jesus.
All over the place. That's how he'd get caught though, because he'd be so stupid.
They just follow the stream and the drip.
It's in the piss. And they just like throw some paint on him. Yellow paint because he likes to pee. There we go. I feel better.
Real quick before we end. The end was quick. I didn't like the ending, kind of. It was kind of like they set the bar on fire. He walked right out. He took up steps like he was running toward. Like he didn't go like, "Oh shit, the cops are here." He was running straight at him, and they shot him twice, and he just dropped. I was like, okay. The ending was like, but I still liked it though.
It wasn't bad, but yeah, like I said, I'm still gonna stick with my 6 with that movie. It was like that was better than this.
Oh, I see. Well, that's a different style. Yeah, that storytelling was.
The other black and white was better than this too. The other, I forgot what it was.
It was the heist one.
Yeah,
Rafifi.
There you go. But you're right; they are both different. They're different, but at the same time, I feel like they can almost fall in the same genre. In a sense of this, not because I don't really see this. I mean, I get why it's a horror film because I guess when it came out, but I don't really see this as a horror film.
It's like you said, it could be the first comedy horror.
Yeah, it's like a borderline type of deal. I don't know.
More like a thriller, like a serial killer. He was a serial killer in a way.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like the first Red Skull.
Thanks for joining.
Guy corrupted by his power, by his yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
But still quick end. But still, it's a classic, man. You just can't complain too much. It's where everything else came from.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. The original monsters, like the Universal monsters, like I like them. Like that's when I will watch this again. I think if I'll go and like I have to watch, if I watch this again, I'm gonna have to watch Dracula, Frankenstein again.
Yeah, you gotta go through the whole thing.
Oh, by the way, monster movies. I'm really pissed off. I cannot find Werewolf in London.
Really?
Yeah, you can find the American Werewolf in London. You can find other Wolfman. Werewolf in London is one of those movies I cannot fucking find, even with Cinema HD. I cannot find it for some reason. Well, last time I searched, let's say, and that was like a few months ago. But I never tried again. I gotta find it because I'm like, why is this? What, they're hiding it? I'm like, what the fuck? Because I didn't see it in a long time, and I think that might be like one of the best werewolf movies.
I can't recall it, honestly. I know I've seen it, but I don't remember it. And now I'm worried if I'm confusing always in my head American Werewolf and
you might be because It was more old school, like the transformation of the werewolf. It was like I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. It was like one of those monster flicks. I was like, damn. I was like, this is fucking cool. And I tried to watch it a few months ago, and I couldn't find it. So, but if anybody finds it, let me know because I want to watch.
Sure will.
Word.
Sure. The first. Yeah, I'll tell you after. But had a good time. Thank you again.
Yeah,
the link I just posted in there, people, is for a podcast called "The Devil Made Me Do It," which we know Joe from Any Last Words. It's her podcast with her friend Desiree. So go check that. Go give that page a like. Go follow the YouTube channel and all that stuff too, because we like to support. They support us. Let's support them too as well, people. So go give that a like. Go give it a like.
Definitely.
And subscribe to their YouTube channel as well, which you can get the link from their Facebook page.
Yep.
But gentlemen, I guess we can all bounce now. I had a great time.
Pleasure as always. Thank you.
Yes.
On a special night. Usually it's Thursdays, but
yeah.
By the way, was that the most you've ever had on yours at one time?
No. The most I had was 9 on that once, I believe. There was
Holy shit.
It was the I didn't join it, but it was the
was that the Popcorn and Pints, by the way. That was the 3-year anniversary.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Wait, I was on that. Wasn't I on that?
I think you were.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Joe was on it too. Wasn't Joe there?
Yep. Joe, you
had... yeah. You're right.
A few people, Slinky, I believe.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of people. A lot of talking. Like,
yeah.
Chaotic sometimes. Like, one person
check it out.
You're like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm probably going to... That might be my new thing, like, for the end of the year show. Like, because my anniversary is the 1st of January. So I feel like, as far as for the show. So I feel like maybe I can kind of continue that. Like, just January 1st, do a show, or, you know what I mean? Do a live
random horror talk.
Random horror talk about like what came out over the year, what everybody's doing over, how everybody's doing with whatever, just random shit. Horror, yes.
What's their favorite movie of the year? Question.
Yep. Worst and best movie of the year, if you can remember. It doesn't even have to be a movie that came out that year.
Blood Lake. Worst movie, automatically every year. That's my same answer. But you didn't watch it this year. Don't matter.
I was gonna say we did watch it this year and last year, so
it was
back to back unanimous. Since that movie came out, it's the worst movie of the year. It's gonna be the worst movie of the year for the rest of the time.
Pretty much.
And I want you guys.
People thought we were lying.
I want you guys to watch that. Listen, Blood Lake is on Tubi. I don't recommend it at all, but I want you guys to go out and watch that because you will see our disdain, our hate, our pain, our tragedies of this movie and anything else you can think of that's, those type of words, because it's fucking bad. It is terrible. It's horrible. With that being said, though, people, thank you guys for listening and watching. Make sure you guys tune in, which we will be back on our regular schedule. This Saturday, we are live, 9 o'clock Eastern time. We are reviewing. Let me just pull this up for you guys really quick. These 2 movies right here, Monty Python's Holy Grail and...
Oh, this is going to be great.
Have you ever guys seen this movie right here?
I never seen The Atonement. I seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Nope. I've never seen either one.
Me neither.
So, but anyway, so tune into that Saturday. We're going to be reviewing those 2 movies. Also, next Tuesday, tune in 9 o'clock Eastern time. We'll be reviewing, I forgot what, but...
The Cell.
The Cell. J-Lo.
I've never seen that, so that's gonna be fun. We're gonna be reviewing The Cell next week, so tune in for that. And then Thursday we'll be back to our normal time. Next Thursday we will be reviewing whatever the Wheels picks on Tuesday. But we will not be here tomorrow because it is my 5-year anniversary, and I'm very excited for that. So
happy anniversary!
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, sir.
Party, fiesta time, Invisible Head, yeah.
Is that the year for ass play? I forgot the order.
Wow, James.
No.
5 brown rings.
I think you're thinking of a different song and a different book.
Oh, okay.
I told you to stop reading the books that Henry writes. It's pages with 4 words.
Yeah, horrible, bro. Yeah, horrible.
Oh fuck, man, fuck.
Horrible.
So yeah, we'll be back to our normal time next Tuesday as far as Horror Source 30 goes. Tuesday, Thursday, and Popcorn and Pints on Saturday, which is going to be a fucking blast again. So yeah, make sure you check out The Worst Damn Gamer. Make sure you check out Horror Source 30. Check out The Devil Made Me Do It. I posted the link in the comments, and then all of the links and everybody that was on this show, all the links are above or down below. Again, people, thank you guys for listening and watching, and as always, I'll see you in your nightmares. The Invisible Pisser. He's gonna piss on it.